Hey, I'm Roland with Mobile Geeks right here in London, and we are taking a quick look at the Huawei P8, which is the new flagship device from the Chinese company that is trying to stick it to people like Sony and Apple and all the other major manufacturers of smartphones right now. And the P8 is their latest try, which is a 5.2-inch Full HD capable screen on this device, and they're definitely putting everything in there that this company has to offer right now. So besides the 5.2-inch Full HD panel on here with IPS technology and pretty good viewing angles, this thing is sporting a Huawei Kirin 930 SoC, so that's the new octa-core that is running 4 ARM Cortex A53 cores at 1.5 GHz and another 4 ARM Cortex A53 cores at up to 2 GHz. It's combining those 8 cores with 3 gigs of flash storage and 3 gigs of RAM in this case, so there's plenty of RAM integrated right here, which is probably pretty good because of the new EMUI interface, which also has been, well, it's been eating up some RAM on the other devices so far. And there is 16 gigabytes of flash storage in the base model, but there will be one that will be $100 or euros more expensive that will give you 64 gigs of flash storage. All this flash storage can always be extended through the microSD card slot, which sits down here, or is one of those 2 slots at least. And yeah, that is pretty much the basics about this device, but there is an 8 megapixel shooter on the front right here that has an f-stop 2.4 aperture on here, and on the back you will find a 13 megapixel camera that definitely should do a pretty good job of taking nice pictures, because Huawei has been working on making this even better in low light. Where the P7 was already pretty good, this one is supposed to be a little bit better still. There is an optical image stabilizer in here, which is pretty nice, and there is a dual color LED flash on this device. As you can see on the back here, we have aluminum all the way around, where the old model, the P7, had glass on both sides. This one is now covered in full body aluminum, and if I take off this cover foil, you'll see this champagne gold color that this thing is sporting right now. There's also a black version, a gray version, and a silver, or I think another champagne color. Those are the more, what is it called, Mystique champagne color, and the dark charcoal black are both restricted to the 64 gig premium model that is $100 more. Let's take a very quick tour around this device, where we will start off with the screen. As I said, 5.2-inch 1080p, 8 megapixel camera on the front, no capacitive touch buttons, but on-screen buttons, and we are running Android 5.0 on here, including, for example, the new EMUI. And what they've done also is they have tried to integrate a bunch of very nice or interesting features where you can actually call for your phone and the phone will answer when you call its name, where you can set the name just as you like. Plus there's a bunch of other camera features integrated, but let's get back to the tour around the device quickly, because on the side we have this metal frame. As I said, those right here are those spacers for the antennas, and Huawei is also claiming that they've solved the problem of holding those metal devices and reducing the reception on them while doing so. And that's the volume rocker. There is your power button over here, which is feels pretty nice, and it has this nice rounded circular structure to it, so it's pretty light to detect with your fingertips. Plus the buttons are a bit wobbly on here, but Huawei will probably work on this for the future. Down here we have the SD card and your SIM card slot. Again, this will be available in dual SIM in specific countries, for example China. In Western Europe, it is finally, or for now, coming out only as a single SIM model, because they're working with a bunch of network operators over here. On the bottom we have the 2 stereo speakers of the Huawei P8, which Huawei has finally moved to the bottom, so they're now no longer covered up when you put the device flat down on the table. Those are supposed to be pretty high quality, and they will deliver a pretty good sound because they've also integrated specific audio chips. We have a micro USB port, and on the left there is pretty much nothing. On the top you get the headset jack plus your noise cancelling mic. The whole thing weighs in at 144 grams and is just 6.4 millimeters thick. That is a little thicker than last year's model, which was the P7, and Huawei still manages to cram in more battery in here, so we are talking about a 2680 milliamp hour battery that is supposedly going to last you a little longer than on the older model, plus they're employing some special power saving modes on this device. As I said, we're running Android 5.0, and this will be available very soon for 500 euros. For another $100 on top, you will get the 64 gig model, and I don't know about any release plans for the US or other countries outside of Europe, but this will be available again very, very soon on our continent. And I will see you later. If you like what we do on our channel, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and then we'll talk to you soon.